As it's preparing.
Yes, there we go.
Hey, there we are. All right, so I'm going to open up I'm going to open up the YouTube on this end, see if I can participate live over here. But we want to talk about the energy, right? Everybody's crazy energy. So let's give everybody a minute to get on here.
Well, there's certainly a lot going on that's affecting us, that's for sure.
Yeah. So I wonder if I don't know how the live works. I think it goes out and says, hey, everybody, come on, we're live now, come on over. So we'll watch. I'm going to be watching for people to come on over. But yeah, we want to talk about a little bit. And we're going to just have to remind people as they come in to go back and watch this once it's said and done. But Judy and I were talking about how not only are we tired or like it just seems like a lot's coming on right now, but a lot of people have been asking me, why do I feel so tired? Sessions I'm having, why am I so exhausted? Why do I just like have no enthusiasm towards anything or any of that kind of stuff? And I myself am feeling that way, like, okay, I have all these exciting things coming up. Why am I not, where's my energy levels? Why is that? We're going to say hi to Brandy because she's on here going, finally. Hi, Brandy. So what I found out today is that we're in an eclipse, solar eclipse. And I think that is really contributing. It's supposed to be kind of pulling up those aggravations within us, right? The irritableness of us. And, I'm always right here saying I'm just as human as everybody else. And I've been a little snarky. I had a really good day yesterday, actually, and then it just took one little thing, and I'm just like, why the heck can't? And my son's like, what is wrong? And then I'm like, then you guys, not only, he's calling me out because I'm just like totally being snarky about something, something that didn't get put. Like I came from town and something that was supposed to be in my bag wasn't in there. And it was like, it's not enough to go back to town for it, but it's also really annoying that it's not there. And so I'm losing it. Well, maybe not like that, losing it, but I was grumpy. And then he's like, you need to just settle down. Well, who wants to hear that when they're grumpy? Who wants to hear that? And I said, that is really not the thing you say to somebody that's having a bad moment. And he's like, I realize that now. But I found that I just needed to go separate myself. I ate a little something. I hadn't eaten all day because on session days when I do QHHT sessions, and I don't know if you're like this too, Judy, you're just going and there's no eating. I might eat a little bit in the beginning, but then you go like 6-7 hours maybe without eating anything. And then I had to still get home. And so by that time I was really probably hangry. And so yes. I needed to eat something, but I'm a real person right here. It's like, if you guys are experiencing these mood shifts, it's probably that eclipse. And we're going into Mercury in retrograde. That starts on the 21st. However, there is always a shadow. And so we're really technically already in it. And that's what I got to say about that. Okay, we got some slow movers getting in here to our live chat, but we do have a few. So Tamara and let's see, we got, if I say this right, Mahela. Brandy's in here laughing at me. Thanks, Brandy. So we do have a lot of questions. So I hope a lot more of you guys are able to join us live and get in here with these questions. But Judy and I will forge forward and we will get those questions for you, and you can watch the replay if you didn't make it live. So we're still good. And hey,
there are a lot today,
guys. Yeah. Yeah. You guys got on the questions. I'm thinking this interview is just really getting people anxious to know what's going on. But
and we're also sort of entering into our fall, our autumn. So it's a time to go, to hibernate and so on as well. So that's part of the complication. But an interesting thing that I've noticed just in the last couple of days is a lot of people seem to be losing their voice, which is self-included. So that's rather an interesting little symptom as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's nothing to explain it. I mean, I'm not sick in any way or anything like that. But yeah, it's just a voice the last few days.
Yeah.
So if I'm a bit croaky, you'll know why.
I'm cranky, she's croaky. Welcome aboard. Got it down. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah. Anything, I know you're busy. You're a busy woman. And so we're going to have some mercy here with Judy today, because she's been going full force. And thank you for being here and making the time to make this work. We all love you. We love you. That being said, I do want to, you guys are going to be like, oh my God, if she says it one more time, right? But Earth Day is Saturday. There is an all-day event on Saturday. Come join us live for that. And if the link's not down below, it's on my website, tracymayhem.com. Go over there and check it out. But yeah, we got five speakers and a nice little event for the day to just listen to Mother Earth for a while. Let's find out what she has to say to us and just really honor her on Earth Day. So yeah, that's coming up. And then there's the by design that I'm doing, and Judy's going to be traveling. So we're just going to have like a 5-minute pause of silence where Judy's voice would normally be. But yeah, that one's going to be interesting. That's next week. If you guys want to check that out, it should be down below as well. But that's going to be weird because Judy, I think you've been to every one of them. So yeah, I may just put your picture up back here with Daniel, and we'll just imagine you're here with us, because yeah, that one, we'll see what happens. But
we'll see what happens. Yes.
It'll be like, does anybody else feel like something's missing? I swear the last time when you logged on late, I was so lost. Where's Judy? Judy's here. She's always here before I'm here.
Oh, that was a bad day with it dropping out all the time. The power went off. Actually, it wasn't so much the signal, but the power went off, and then that, of course, dropped the whole connection. But yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah. Well, we know why these things happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's time for Judy to step out a little bit, to get her own stuff kind of out there, like when you weren't able to write out a script and you had to just ad-lib it, and it was so beautiful. And I think Spirit's just kind of pushing you a little bit, like, okay.
Oh, it's not only Spirit that's pushing me, Tracy.
But yeah.
I've been remarkably stubborn, haven't I?
Well, to my benefit, yes, because as long as you're going to be stubborn about branching that out, then I get to hog you up and use your services here. So, you take your time, Judy, take your time. It's all good. All right. So we've got Julie N from, are you in Georgia? Is GA Georgia? Okay, and then we got Lisa from Australia, Brandy again, Tammy. Let's get you guys in here. Oh, it's starting to pick up a little bit. More and more people are coming. So Brandy's in Spokane, Washington. I didn't know you were in Spokane. Maybe I did know that, Brandy, but Brandy's been, I've known Brandy for a long time. There's Claudia, another one I've known for a long time. You guys, well, all of you guys that are in here, I think I've known you guys for a long time. So thank you for your support and for showing up. And we hope we get you guys some amazing answers today. So
do you see Carol on there?
I don't yet. But
well, we'll just say it anyway. It is
all right.
Carol, who's been a long time listener to these. It's her birthday today, and apparently it's a significant one. So happy birthday, Carol.
Happy birthday, Carol. She's 25. I always have anniversaries to my 25th birthday, something like that. So we got Mary Jane, we got Giovanna from Serbia. You guys are all coming in good. Okay, so Any other announcements before we get into their questions?
No, not on my behalf.
Nothing?
Or else I just can't think of them.
When are you doing your workshop? No, I'm just kidding. She did think about it. Maybe I should have waited a little more pause there. We want to manifest with you guys because Judy's in Australia, right? We all know this now. And if you're new to the page, Judy's in Australia, I'm in Oregon, and we want to do a workshop in Australia. So help us manifest that, make that happen. Would be awesome. So I'll go to Australia.
There are some interesting things that are stirring along those lines, I'll just say, for our Aussie audience. So we shall see. Watch this space.
All right. Okay. So at this point, I think we should probably just jump right in. Go get Daniel. You guys are like, gosh, ladies, we didn't log in to watch YouTube banter. So we'll get Daniel for you guys, and we'll get to these questions, these pressing questions. So we get all the goodies in here. If I see Carol's name pop in here, we're going to do that announcement again. And then can everybody in the chat room just start wishing her a happy birthday? Hopefully she'll be able to make it with us during this live, but if not, she'll get it. She'll get it. Okay. All right. I'm going to go get Daniel. Sometimes I get shown things before I go into the channel. I'm being shown a mountain, or like, yeah, it's a mountain, and it's snow-capped mountain. And, okay. All right. So over by where I live, there is Mount Adams, right? And I talk about that sometimes. We go to the ECETI Ranch and we do the Sky Watch and all the things. So I'm like, I just now closed my eyes and said, what mountain is this? And then I see all these little alien type or ET-ish looking beings pop up from behind the mountain and just wave. And I'm realizing it's Mount Adams. So the gang's all here. They're all here saying hi. I almost said this earlier. We talked about, you know, we're getting Q&A from Daniel, but we're also getting it from these other collectives. So if you guys are connected to some of these other collectives, then this could be why this is all showing up. We're getting a little mix of flavor today. We're getting some flavor. So
I've noticed the Andromedans are popping in more and more of late.
Yes. Yeah, they were in that transmission the other day. I don't know why I'm supposed to say hi to Mary Jane from this collective that's showing themselves. It's like I look over and her name just kind of jumps out at me with that. So Mary Jane's the other commander in the house. We got Judy commanding. We got Mary Jane command. She's the commander over, and we are discovering so many new things about Florida, by the way. Like there's, you know, I've talked about going over there and working with reactivating the healing waters, the crystalline city that sits over Florida, and the ocean, the Gulf, and some of those surrounding areas, but mostly centered over Florida. And I kept getting that I was going to be working with the healing waters. And what got interesting is in the session, she was incarnation of water. And it's like this whole new concept of working with the healing waters. Just like Earth Mother has incarnated in the human form to ensure this ascension process, and air. I mean, how many times have we had session where somebody's been air or rocks or something, an element, and here it is being this big aha moment that water has also taken, consciousness of water has taken form as the human to ensure going through these processes as well. Sorry, I'm being distracted by a very loud buzz in my ear right now. So something's being activated with that. So anyways, it was really exciting to me that it wasn't just the element of water that I'm working with, but water incarnated into the human form that I get to work with. And be in this activating energy with. So that was exciting, just in case anybody resonates with that water element. You might be water incarnated into this form to help bring back the healing waters. So
that's amazing to contemplate that, isn't it?
Isn't
I've not
it?
experienced that in a session, but yeah, that's really interesting.
I know, it takes you out of the box a little bit, right? It's like, oh, who would have thought? So very, very interesting times, and a lot going on. Hello to Miami, and yes, I'm seeing the happy birthdays roll in for Carol, so keep them coming so she gets this nice big birthday surprise. We all appreciate her, and all of you guys. It's exciting. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. We'll get Daniel. Okay. No more mountains. Let's just get in it. We're ready to begin this fun with you. It is our treasured moments to be in these questions and answers that you bring upon in this live format. And we enjoy being in the energy with everybody and amplifying these energies with everyone. And as an amplifier, as you all are, we want to remind all of you, you were talking about the eclipse energy and how it is a little bit of that poke in the bear moment stuff, all the things, the irritations and the little things. We want you to remember it is in your it is in the flow of your life of remembering to stay in those thoughts of support. You're always supported. Whatever it is that is being mirrored back to you at this point, that is bringing forward for you something to look at, something to reflect upon, something that maybe you thought you've already healed this, and now here it is again, and it's showing up, and you're having a reaction to it, which means you're not healed fully from it. And so just love the part of you. Love the part of you that is going through this experience yet again, and just bring the gift of that healing of love to that center, that core of who you are, because it's very important as we keep moving forward and evolving. Of course, the pressure on this is going to get stronger and stronger. It is very important we're trying to think of a concept for you as to how this totally works for you, but it is very important that the fear-based energy, the feelings of lack, the feelings of unworthiness we want to use the word fully wrung out, like you were wringing out a washcloth. That needs to be fully wrung out of this energy field that is your incarnation, so that you can experience these upgraded frequencies that are coming in for you. So always know that you are fully supported. Honor the fact that there's still some feelings there that are working themselves out. There are still some patterns there to show you where things still are hovering a little bit in your fields. And so it's as easy as saying, you know what? I don't need this anymore. And let's just be done with this right now, and start recognizing where it is a pattern and where you have control in this as well, so that you can move forward a lot easier. And here's another thing that is happening as a collective. We want to, as we're scanning the audience here, you as an empathic being that you are, and most all of you will fall into that because you are these beautiful, beautiful, compassionate, loving, kind, and generous souls. We want you right now, let's just do this together. We're going to lift the energy of the collective off of you, because you're feeling the pain, you're feeling the weight of the collective. And so what we want you to do, because it does nobody any good for you to carry it for them. It's not helping anyone. In fact, it is just amplifying, as we have spoke about before. It just amplifies that issue that you are trying to resolve. You're not resolving it, you're just one more person thinking about it, therefore it gets bigger and bigger. So as we clear this energy, we want you to think about all the people that you love and care about, that you might be holding energy, carrying the energy, the weight of the world. And we want you to start releasing that with us. Just see it swirling, like it's moving, it's unwinding, it's moving off of you now. And we want to release all the collective of all those energies that are not theirs to carry. We ask that the collective energy of density, fear-based energy is now dissolved and healed, and that everyone everyone is given some demonstration of everything that's going right in their world. Show them again that they are supported, show them again that they are loved, and bring demonstration of that into each and every heart, each and every soul, all those who are here with us in this collective union at this time. We thank you for bringing in their support, their love, and the reminder of all of that for them in the most loving, kind ways, joyful ways. And we lift off all that which is not yours to carry. We release it, we surrender it into the white light, and we let it just be transmuted and repurposed into something even better. And with that, we thank you so much for being here. Everybody deep breath and allow for this new energy, this release to happen and the new energy to come in. And now we will say hello to Judy. Thank you for being here with us and making the time and the space in your schedule for this to take place today. Without you, Tracy would probably forget to do this, by the way. So we thank you so much for doing it. And is there anything you would like to say before we get started?
Well, hello, Daniel, and thank you so much for doing that and helping everybody to release. I know my shoulders dropped a few inches.
Yes, it helps, doesn't it? It's all of that tension.
It sure does. It sure does. But it's just so interesting for people to realize that a lot of their burdens and their fatigue and so on is because they've been carrying other people's energy. So I'm sure that's been so beneficial to our audience here. And so thank you very much for that.
Absolutely. It was our pleasure, and it's such a good reminder, isn't it, that we forget that we sometimes will take on the energy of our homes, the energy of the ones around us, and then the energy of the collective, especially if you are engaging and watching the news and all the different things that are going on in the world. It gets heavier and denser. And so we thank everyone for being open to releasing that energy and knowing that in that releasing, that is in where the healing resides. It's in releasing it.
And with that, we have a very long list of questions today. So I think we should start.
Let's go ahead and get started. We'll do our best to talk fast and keep it short.
Okay, the first one is from Anne Turter, and she'd like to know what is happening when we experience deja vu.
And this is a beautiful question. It is one that everyone that we know of experiences deja vu, right? And so as we look at this interesting platform of Earth and the different timelines and strands and the different dimensions, if you will, and as you move from these different timelines, as you move into these other dimensions and realities, you may find that in one reality, it feels like you've already done something, and in another reality, it isn't done yet. Or you put your keys in your purse in one reality, and then you find them on the counter in the other reality, right? You have these things that don't quite line up, but then you just chalk it off to, oh, I don't remember putting it there, but okay. And you have your keys, so you're not pondering a lot on it. But we want to say to you that when you are experiencing deja vu, some of what we want to say, it is not always a consistent, what we want to say, there's more than one answer to this. But one of the things that you are witnessing is when you switch timelines and you end up on a timeline where you've already done this and now you're doing it again. And it could even be just moments. You were on this timeline and you just did it, and then something bounces you into this timeline and now you're doing it again. And it feels like, wow, I know this is familiar. I've done this before. So you're entering alternate realities and moments that you remember. Now, for some people, this will happen in a dream state where you have a dream about something that is coming up in your future. You do this to set it up so that you can feel that interesting feeling of deja vu. We've done this already. This has already happened. And you end up going through something again, or seeing it and then going through it, and you set that up so that you would notice, so that it is part of your awakening, and is part of the clues, the little clues that you left for yourself. And here's the big mind blower that it may be a little harder concept to understand, but what if it were that the pause button had been hit and time got reversed 20 seconds and then played again. And then you feel like, whoa, didn't we just do this? And so there's a lot of different ways that this can happen. You're in this biological creation or simulation, if you will, where you are experiencing many, many things. And so as you are experiencing all of these things, it is very important to realize that what feels right to you is the answer. So we gave you these multitude of answers, and which one resonated for you the most? That's the one that happened for you. And maybe next time another version of that will resonate, depending on what the deja vu is. So there are many ways that this can come about for you, and many different ways that this plays out. And Tracy's over here going, how many times have they flashy thingied me? And, you know, going back to the Men in Black movie where your mind has been wiped, and let's wipe out the last 10 seconds and start over and do that piece again. And these types of things, the concepts of them, the realization that, is there a pause button? Is there a rewind button? Is there a restart button? And if so, why is that being implemented? Why does that get reset and we reset and start from here again? And now we're going to reset and do this again. And then that is where a deja vu moment may come in for you, is if there was something that got replayed for you. So lots of very confusing answers. We understand that as well, but this, to conceptualize how all of this works, there's not the capacity for it right now, but as you keep evolving, as you keep learning, and as you keep opening your mind to new and more, you're going to start understanding this concept and these ideas that we bring forward for you. For some, it's conceptual, right? And for others, it's like, I don't get it. That makes my head hurt. Talk about something else. And so that's what we're going to do. Okay, ask us the next question.
Okay, the next one is from Tao of the Heart, who asks, can you talk about the fluidity of moving across time and up and down in dimensions? And how does this relate to the expression of our DNA?
The fluidity of moving through time. Is that right? And up and down in dimensions. That's interesting.
Yes.
That dimensions go up and down, isn't it?
Yes.
These are constructs that have been put in place, that dimensions will go up and down and not this way and this way. And so horizontal, vertical, you have dimensions in both directions. And it is the fluidity of moving through time, the DNA. This is a complicated question, and we want to tell you why. We are working with this vehicle that you all know as Tracy. She is trying to conceptualize this question, and because of that, it is moving through us a little bit slower, because she needs to understand it a little bit as well, so that we can find the right words to bring forward.
And I just say, instead of through time, across time.
Across time.
Which is different.
We want to see what comes in for an answer for this, because this also involves the DNA. Is that correct?
Yes.
So what we want to say is everything is energy. And when your energy becomes that vibrational frequency matched to time and the fluidity of time, of dimensions, of all things. To simplify this answer, we're going to go back to your DNA, your vibrations, your frequencies, your cells. Everything vibrating at the right moment in the right space will create that movement, that, how did you say through time? It is
across time.
Across time. We're not sure. Are we talking like time travel? Is that what
that's what I understood by that.
There is a lot of factors in that, isn't there? There is the folding of time. There is the loopholes or the wormholes of traveling through the time. there's a lot to be discovered about that, just moving through information you already have here on your planet. Things that you'll find that will be more descriptive to you, or maybe more scientific to you than what we will find to say for you today. But as we move through this idea of time travel, we get a little bit hung up in this time travel idea because, again, it is the dimensions, it is the different realities that are existing and coexisting, and you're just moving from those realities. And you could be tearing into the fabric of the universe, this opening that moves you into another dimension, into another time frame in your dimension, into another time in your world, into all these different things. There are so many layers to this and so many versions of how this could play out, because every time one might think about moving through time, every time you do that, you create a new reality, right? You are making an alternate reality to the one that you were in, because it's no longer a mirror to the one that you were in. And there's one where you're going to be missing now, and one where you're going to be beginning. And so there's so many different things, paradoxes, as they will, that could be happening depending on where you move in time. And as far as the DNA goes, the structure of the cells, they adjust actually quite quickly in if you were to move through dimensions in time. But again, it is a vibrational match. It is a vibrational frequency. But as you believe, your chemistry of your body changes, right? As you think, as you hold thoughts in your mind, an angry thought creates that irritation, right? And a very loving thought creates that softness, that frequency. So as you are moving the energy of your mind into the belief system of, I'm going to move through that dimension and arrive in this time, or move into another timeline or an alternate reality, your cellular structure is able to adjust to some degree. Now, if you were to find a way to jump from Earth to the moon, the atmosphere will not be as kind, right? And the atmosphere is a factor in that. But if you are moving through elements of your own Earth and your own dimensions, your own realities within the same gravitational experience, your body will do fine through that. Does that make sense?
That makes sense, yes.
Again, the person that's asking this question, they have already done their research around this. And so just trust what you are feeling, trust your guidance. You already have the answer. And we think you're just looking for confirmation for the answer you have found. And so we're giving it to you. You are correct. Whatever you found, whatever resonates for you, that is your truth. And therefore it is created within your reality, this truth. And whatever it is that you are looking to experience, you can create that and it can happen for you. Okay.
All right. Thank you for that. The next one is from Keith D. And as beings of joy, does physical pain serve a purpose? And do our higher selves feel that physical pain?
As beings of joy.
Or rather as seekers of joy.
Seekers of joy. Okay.
Seekers of joy, yes.
Seekers of joy. Does pain serve
a purpose? And does the higher self feel that our physical pain?
Well, of course, it's going to serve a purpose because it's going to give you a message. You designed it. So you want to ask that higher self, the one you're wondering if it can feel this pain. Your higher self is right there with you. It's understanding what you are going through. Does it feel the same physical sensations that you were feeling in your experience? If you were to bring it in and share that experience with it, yes, it is. If you are staying separate from it or disconnected from it, then it is not, the physical sensations are not necessarily shared with that higher self, but that is through the belief system that is being created right here in this being. So again, we want to make sure everyone understands, use your discernment. Your belief systems create your realities. We are working with Tracy's belief system. So when we are working with this belief system, this is the reality that comes forward. It is influenced by that belief system. So we ask you all to use your discernment with these answers. If it does not resonate, it doesn't make it wrong. It means it's not in your reality. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So when we are looking at this pain factor, there is a pain body, there is the physical body. You've got many different layers to you. You're physical, mental, emotional, spiritual being. You're already just in this faculty right here. You are already so many dimensions in this one little package. And then if you go even outside of this package, you are so many more layers to that. You have designed the life to give yourself clues. Now you have information. There's so much information out there now where one knows that the body is talking to you. There's a symptom, even something like a car accident can be very significant. What direction were you going that your higher self wanted to have stop? What is it being stopped from doing? What is it now that you're not doing anymore that you were going to be doing when you were in that vehicle? What is the pain that was brought forward for you when was it at the shoulder? Was it the hips? Did you break a leg? Did you hit your nose? What did you do? And you want to look at where things happen, twisting an ankle, breaking an arm, those types of things, right side, left side. We all know they mean things, right? So now we have these beautiful authors in this world that have created these guidebooks to help you find what does it all mean. So yes, the pain, the symptoms, the illnesses, they're all guiding you somewhere. It could be lifetimes of trauma that are starting to surface because in this lifetime you agreed to move that out of the vibrations. You're healing that now. And so lifetimes of things could be coming through your physical body at this time. Aches and pains and different traumas that you have experienced. You don't have to experience it in the physical form. Go in and to the inward body, go in and ask, why is this here? If you struggle with finding those answers for yourself, then find somebody that works in this area that can help you to discover what it is that you are, that your ache and your pain means, that your symptoms mean, that your disease means, or why it is that you took it on. What was the purpose of it? Why did you bring that into this life form so that you could be expressing it? What service is it bringing to you and to those around you, to the planet? There's always something there for it. Does the higher self necessarily feel it? Not necessarily. If you think about the higher self, it does not have the physical body. It is the awareness. It is the soul aspect of you. It is the source aspect of you. It is aware of your physical pain. But unless the higher self is engaged in the body, like we are engaged in Tracy's body right now, being through the channel. When coming through as a channel, it's going to be much more aware of the physical body, like we're aware of her physical body. But when we are observing, we are not so much aware. And so when the higher self is just in the observation portal, it's not as aware of the physical pain and what that is that you are enduring with that. So if you want the higher self to be more aware, bring that higher self into the physical, invite it to join you in the physical body so that it can be aware of the physical symptoms. We don't see how that would serve a purpose other than now it's even more aware of that physical pain, but to ask the questions, why is it there? Why is it, what purpose is it serving, would serve you better than to want to engage the higher self in the physical symptom itself. So Judy, do you have anything to add to that? We know you are quite the expert in the soul speak area of life, and there's a lot that you could offer this question.
Yes, well, basically, just to reinforce what you said, the pain does serve a purpose in alerting you to the fact that there is some situation that you need to address in your life. And depending on where the pain is, it's very, very specific in what it is that you need to address. So it's quite fascinating, and just coming to an understanding of getting the message that you need to get from experiencing that pain, it can just literally dissolve and no longer be there once you understand it, and maybe take an appropriate course of action, or perhaps not even taking action. Sometimes it just comes through from another existence and it can simply be released. So it's very, very interesting, but it definitely does serve the purpose of alerting you to the fact that you need to look at something.
Absolutely.
It's quite fascinating. Really.
We would high five you right now if you were right.
High five back.
Yes, we'll just start swinging hands. It's all good.
All right. Move along here because we're about long rest. So the next,
the high vibrations now. We're getting into the goofiness. So let's keep it in that vibration. Yeah.
It's always fun. So the next question is from Juniper Berry and asks, could you please explain what sacred geometry is and how it is related to love in action?
There is a mantis being that wants to come through apparently and answer that one. But it comes through as clicks. So it's very, very entertaining to us. How exactly is that going to bring through the message for you? We have another question in your stack of questions that wants to know why they get the number 369. Do you have that one on there? It's a little further down, we believe. But 369 is the numbers of the universe, right? These are the patterns of the universe. Sacred geometry is the patterns of the universe. It is you look at it like shapes and you look at it like dimensional things, these shapes and structures. And yet we want to say that you are perceiving sacred geometry through the perception of the human mind. And if you can take your mind beyond that, they are codes, they are vibrations. If you think about when you look at a snowflake and you put it under the microscope and it's got the pattern, right? Or you put the sand on that vibration tray and they turn to a certain frequency and it makes the patterns. These patterns, they hold frequencies. You look at your crop circles, they hold frequencies, these frequencies. Can you imagine if a crop circle in your mind, you've seen many of these crop circles, and could you imagine these crop circles in a multi-dimensional form? Not even just 3 dimensions. You're seeing it in flat on a field, right? And the 2 dimensions, it's just right there. But in a 3rd dimension, then now it would be above, it would be below, it would be all consuming. Now you even bring it into more dimensions. There's vibrations, there's frequencies, there are many benefits to these things, to these patterns, to these crystallizations, to patterns of water, the patterns of happiness, the patterns of sadness, the patterns of all these things. As we look at this energy, we need you to read the full question again. We're still in that sacred geometry, and we know there was another part to that. What was the rest?
Yes, the second part was how does sacred geometry relate to love in action?
Well, it relates to all things in action. Love, joy, happiness, sadness, frustration, anger. It relates to all things. Again, we want to take you back to the experiments you've done on your own planet, where you've put energy into a glass of water. And then you look at the formation of that crystallization of the water after you've put joy and love into it, or after you've put sadness and hate in there. And it changes, but it's all sacred geometry, isn't it? So it's fluid in many things. It is everything. It is everything. It is creation. It is patterns, and it's the patterns of the universe, right? And so it is expansive in all areas of life, and it is influence of all feelings, all frequencies, all vibrations, right down to these fabrics of of sacred geometry, of vibration, and of patterns. Does that make sense?
Yes, I just had the thought then, would the patterns contained within the sacred geometry be contained within the smallest particles of our physical body?
It would make sense, wouldn't it? And yet, when you think about the particles of the smallest, the cells, the atoms, right? So you think about the most microscopic things. And even those are, in fact, their own universes, aren't they? If you were to go and pull your consciousness into just a single cell, your single cell would expand into its own quantum field and into its own universe. And so even that which you think is small is infinite. And the things that you feel are infinite, of course, they're infinite. But as you move out into space, doesn't Earth itself become a speck and then disappear and become incredibly small? And you are yet another aspect of that speck, even smaller than that speck, riding the ride of Earth, right? And so everything is infinite, isn't it? And the more you think about it, the more it challenges the mind a bit to get out of the box. So hopefully that is enough answer for that one.
Thank you.
And
so
add anything that you ever want to add there, Judy. We invite that very strongly.
Thank you. The next question is from Birthday Carol, and she asks, can you tell her which star collective she's from and what her mission is regarding that?
Her mission is endless, isn't it? Endless missions. So as we look at you, Carol, and happy birthday, we see it is almost like you want to just again limit this. Which star collective am I from? Which one are you not from? You are an infinite being. You are part of so many things, so much consciousness. You are this beautiful springboard of information. You can go into any galactic connection you want to. You can move into any of the dimensions, any of the what do we want to say? The universes, the multiverse. You can move through and go beyond the multiverse. What's beyond that? You can go into creation. You can be part of that. The ones that you want to work. Let's see. Tracy says, bring it down. Give her a group to work with. And so we want to look at that. You are connected to Pleiadians, but most everyone listening is connected to Pleiadians. So let's give you, and of course, we like to say that the majority of you also have your Arcturian connections. Carol, we see you with the Lyrans. This is cute. The Lyrans are showing you around a beautiful round table, and you're all having drinks together, celebrating your time here. You're another round of Carol around the earth, right? Around the globe as we go into another year. What they are showing us is that they work strongly with you in helping you bring in balance and helping you bring in, they're working with the divine masculine, divine feminine, and they are bringing in the balance of this energy for you. So you might find yourself, if you get off balance, if you're too much in the feminine or too much in the masculine, you're going to find yourself wavering. Get yourself back into balance. Ask for help when you need help. Be strong where you need to be strong. Be kind, be gentle, and take care of yourself. Be in the balance. The giving and receiving. The giving and receiving. Maybe this is difficult for you to receive, but hey, it's your birthday, so it's time to get some gifts, right? It's time to get some things given to you. Make sure that you are allowing yourself to graciously receive. Thank you. And bring in some more of that balance with yourself. But the Lyran councils are working in the form of frequencies. They have some frequencies that they send telepathically through and to you. And they're working with you to create the balance in this energy on Earth. Tracy's in here advocating for you, Carol. She says, what does that look like? What does that look like when she's getting to work with the balances of the masculine and feminine? Well, it looks like you're going to run into people that are off balance with their masculine and feminine, and you're either going to be bringing in love and kindness that they need, helping them bring their balance in, showing them, demonstrating to them that they don't have to do it all. They can ask for help, or that maybe it's time for them to step up and do some things for themselves and to not rely on everyone else around them, because there's extremes, right? You're going to either always have somebody else doing stuff for you and not step into your power, or you're going to be always doing everything and never asking for help. So she's going to be bringing in some counterparts to her that are going to need her to show them her strengths and her ability to also know when she needs to have help in her life. They're going to be there to be demonstrations for her to demonstrate this beautiful skill. And we do see you definitely have some telepathic communication opening up for you, Carol, and that energy is moving through the people that you feel very close to, but now it's broadening out from that. So be aware that there's going to be some energy that expands out from just those that are close to you into a bigger population. When you're thinking about somebody, when you're somebody pops into your mind, pay attention to that, because there might be something that you are designing for yourself to practice in that telepathic arena. Okay. Lots of things going on for Carol. She's connected to many, many facets. She can connect to anyone she feels drawn to connect with, but it would benefit her to work with mantis beings on telepathy and the energy of the empath, the Lyrans on the balance of the divine masculine, divine feminine, and then also bringing in those Palladian and Arcturian counterparts to help her celebrate that she is a beautiful, wonderful, amazing part of this earth, and we're all excited for her to be here. All right.
A beautiful message, beautiful answer. Thank you.
Lovely.
Now, Claudia would like to know. Claudia would like to know why the lights in a home turn on by themselves at times. Who or what is causing that?
Claudia, you said.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Claudia, we have an answer that you may not be expecting, because we think that maybe you're thinking we're going to say, well, this is your loved one. Your loved one's coming through to do that. But you know what, Claudia, this is your higher self doing this. They're trying to get your attention. Your collective is trying to get your attention in the moment. When they flicker lights like that, you need to know you're not alone. Now, it's not to say that your loved one is not part of that collective. That's not what we're saying. They may be part of the collective that is there with you, part of your council. As many times when our loved ones leave our planet and they transition into the other, whatever it is that they went back to, sometimes they actually end up being part of our councils. And so we do feel or sense that you have some familiarity in this collective, but we see, Claudia, that you have a little panel of pranksters, and they like to get your attention in fun and mysterious ways, and that they do play with your lights, but they also do something when you're driving in the car. We're not sure what that might be. Like maybe you think the radio's on and you keep trying to shut it off, but yet it is off, and yet you're still every once in a while hearing the speakers as if a song is playing. Watch for that. That might start happening. If that happens, just know that they're also playing with you. And it feels like they're leaving things on the ground. If you have gravel near you somewhere, if you have gravel in your driveway or gravel, we keep seeing gravel like a rocky area that you would park a car or something of that nature. A pathway maybe that you walk on that is gravelly. And there's something that's going to be left there. Rather, it's like a feather or a penny or something to get your attention. It's going to be something that doesn't belong there, and you're going to notice it. And it is the collective's way to get your attention, to say you're not alone, we're here. And actually, Claudia, you're listening very well. So we can't even say, they want you to listen. They want you to listen. You're very good at it. And for the most part, you're trusting it. You're trusting it very well. Bump it up a notch, open yourself up for new levels of communication to come in. You've been working with the collectives you have Right now, you've been working really well with them. Now it's time to open that door to something new. Okay. That'll give her something to play with.
I love the pranksters.
Everybody's going to be looking at their flashing lights now going, wait, is that a loved one or is that my pranksters? Yes.
Okay, the next one is from Nicole Mitchell. And she would like to know, is there a message that she's ready to hear so that she's able to move forward from her current situation in life? Are there guides watching over her that she can call on for guidance?
Mm-hmm. We're just looking at Nicole's energy. And the reason that you haven't moved on from the situation that you're in right now is because there's still just a little piece of information that still needs to come through. You know, when you're looking at moving from a job, you're looking at making a change in your life, but you just feel that it isn't quite right yet. And that is what we feel with you, Nicole. We feel like this transition time that you are in, it is just about there, but not quite time yet. And there's going to be either a new piece of information or something else will shift. And then you're going to be like, this is a no-brainer. This is where I'm going. This is how this is working. Either I'm out or I'm in, you know, right? You're going to make the change. And so what we see with you is that we want you to open yourself up to what you haven't thought about yet. Your mind has probably been so preoccupied with the situation that you speak of. It's probably been so consumed that the thing that's trying to get through hasn't been able to break that barrier of thought. And so take a deep breath, go for a walk, think about something else for a minute. And then it feels like that's going to open the door for the information that you truly need to come in and the shift to happen. And then you're not even going to have to ask a question like, what do I need to know? You're going to know it. You already know you're going to go this direction. You already know this is ending and that's beginning. And so you're almost there. Your job is to clear the mind and think about something else for a little bit. Take a break from what you're doing, walk away from it, give yourself something fun to do, and then come back to it. And we feel like that'll remove some of the stuck energy so you can get back into the flow. Okay.
Thank you. Now, the next one is from Spiritual Disco, who writes, for those that have experienced trauma within the past year and been trying to move forward and step into a new chapter of their lives, is there any message from guides and collectives? And a qualifier there, especially for a person whose name starts with a T.
And so that was a long question. So we're going to ask for the first part to be repeated again. The trauma.
For those, yes, who experienced trauma within the past year and trying to move forward and step into new chapters, is there a message from guides and collectives?
Well, as everyone has most likely experienced trauma and upsets and disappointments in life and things that have set you back. As you know, until you get your lesson from that, moving forward can be very difficult. The one we speak through, we'll use her as an example. She gets so excited when we do that, right? She gets so excited when we reveal her past. But there was a time where she ended up moving back in with her parents, and that was not her plan. She was supposed to be moving into a new house, didn't. Moved in with her parents. Why? Because it was perfect design for her to stop letting everyone outside of her influence her, right? And like she needed to quit looking for permission from everyone outside of her to do what she wanted to do. But this was a long process for her to figure out. So she ends up moving into this situation where she is under a lot of pressure of other people, until she finally got to the point where she said, oh my gosh, enough of this. I'm doing what I want to do. This is my life. Why am I trying to, all these other people who aren't even living my life have all these opinions, and they're trying to help me shape my life, and their intentions are good, but they're not the ones that had to live her life, and they didn't understand her and what she was going through. And so then finally the universe put enough pressure on her that she made her decision and she finally moved. And she was able to, once she shifted and started making decisions without all the outside influences, everything started falling into place. But that took her 1.5 years to do that. Actually, it took her a little over 1.5 years to do that. And so what we say is the trauma doesn't stop until you get the thing you're supposed to get from it. So T, what we want you to do is we want you to look at what is it that keeps showing up? What is the pattern? What is the consistency? What is it that keeps knocking on the door? And what is this that you're not letting go of? There's lessons in here for you. You designed this. You designed it. And so what is it that you're trying to tell yourself? What is it that you're showing yourself here? And we want to say you are worthy. It is your turn. And you are a remarkable person. So where is it that you don't feel it in yourself worthy enough to step forward in this new direction? Because we can see it. There's actually a lot of turquoise energy around this question. There's a lot of beautiful energy moving forward, but there is this bubble. It's like this person is in this bubble. They can see what they want. They can dream about it all day long, but they're contained in this bubble. Like they don't feel like they deserve to have it, or there's a worthiness element that maybe they're afraid if they go forward for that, it's going to fall apart or something. There's fear around it. And so heal the fear, heal this part that doesn't feel worthy of it. Go on that journey, get in that. And this is, all of these messages as always, if it resonates, it's for you too. And so if you're listening to this and you feel like these things are happening to you, these are your messages too. And so we want everyone to know that these layers, we're thinking of Shrek now, peeling the layers, right? You're peeling the layers that are keeping you from this beautiful outcome. And what is it? Looking at it, where am I in a bubble? Where am I not creating or feeling unworthy of the creation I want, of the outcome I desire, of the thing I want to create, of the place I want to go, of the direction I want to move, and the lifestyle I want to live? And guess what? You can live any lifestyle you want. It's okay. If it brings you joy, it's a good lifestyle, right? You should not have guilt or shame if you have things that you enjoy, and that is okay. Okay. Do you feel like we answered that?
I just wanted to add there that lack of self-worth affects so many people.
Mm-hmm.
So many people. And it's so nice to see when they finally realize that they do deserve.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. Okay, the next one is from Nichelle Thompson and asks, is there anything her guides or higher self needs to say to her? What does she need to know?
Michelle, what do you need to know? We have to make sense of what we see here. Just a moment. This is an interesting one. We kept seeing strings coming in. And we just got done saying those who are looking outside of themselves for the approval and for the permission. We want to say this felt like a puppet master, the strings of the puppet master. Somebody is in the way of your dreams, is what we want to say, Michelle. And not that it is their fault, they're playing their role perfectly, right? So you are allowing something to be in your life that is interfering with the desire that you actually have. It's robbing you of some joy. And it doesn't mean that this needs to go away from your life, right? That doesn't mean you have to get rid of people. It means you have to own the part you're playing in that. They can't do that unless you're allowing for that to happen. And then that's what we feel in this case, right? There's something there that there's a boundary missing, or there's something that you're learning there with making some choices with your own certainty. I want to do this, not, oh, this would be fun. Is it okay if I do that? No, you're not asking permission. I want to do this, and then go do this. And there's something there There's no mistake of these two questions being asked close together. And of course, you know that because you played with the pendulum and that's the place. But it is interesting. They kind of flow together. So listen to the first message and also this message. So Michelle, there is something there in that last message for you as well. There's something, you're having a breakthrough moment, and there's something big coming for you, and it's your breakthrough. You're going to break through these glass walls that have been placed, the glass ceiling. You're seeing that you deserve to have the things you want, that's okay. Everyone should be happy. There's not one person should sacrifice themselves so everybody else gets what they want. And it happens so often when you get into relationships and different things. Sometimes it feels like it's the lesser evil to just let the other person have what they want, because when they're happy, you're happy. But that's not true. You're not happy. You haven't had your needs met at all. You're just not in conflict, which feels better than conflict, right? And so you interpret that as a form of happiness. But in reality, if you stopped and looked, are your needs being met? Did you get to do what you wanted to do? Are you pursuing your passions? So we want you to check in with your life. We want you to see, where is it that there's strings attached, right? Where is it that somebody else might be calling the shots where you wish it was a little different? And what changes could you make in that? And that's what we have for Michelle today.
Beautiful answer. Thank you. The next one is from Veronica Makey, and would like to know the best way for her to speak light language as you do.
You know, we love these. It seems like it should be so complicated, right? But watch, Judy is going to speak light language for you. It's so easy. And so, are you ready, Judy?
You want me to say something? Okay. Ishkanama uskinini. Ishima sususula ichkamana. Shiama.
So beautiful. What we say to you is,
Where that came from.
you know where it came from. You are so connected to all of that. This is why we spoke her to get out and help and teach these things in her own way. So what we want you to do is we want you to speak like a baby. And so let's do this together, Judy. We're going to start off speaking like a baby, goo goo gaga, and we're going to let it roll into light language. And we're both going to do that. And everyone that wants to participate, do that. Just start making sounds and then let it start going faster and faster, and then it'll evolve. So let's go ahead. On the count of 3, we're both going to start talking like a baby, okay? And then let it evolve. 1, 2, 3. Aga aga ma goo 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 anda aga aga adushan ba asasami kotami ta asata ye shakoto tanti te shalatako wema ashaweda. So what happens here is you get out of your way, you're getting silly, right? You're doing the baby talk. And then you just allow yourself to, you're removing all that stress energy because you're kind of giggling at yourself, right? You're making baby noises, so you're giggling. But then you invite in this beautiful language to start surfacing from you. And light languages, we would love for every person on the planet to speak their light language, because it is a healing vibration and frequency that comes from the soul. It is your soul language, and it moves through you and it creates healing vibrations in the body, much like when a cat lays on you and purrs, right? And it feels so good. Well, this is the same thing. This is the human purring. And allow for that energy to resonate for you. Just play with that. If maybe you didn't get it right now, and as you're listening to this, then later on, try it again. In fact, if you have pets, and this is for everyone, if you have pets, they love it when you talk to them in this way, and they're perfect to practice on. If you want to speak a light language, start speaking to the kitty cats, the birds, the doggies, and all the little animals. They love to hear it. In fact, how many times Tracy has been sent pictures when she gets into speaking light language and channeling and doing all that, people will take pictures. Their cats will sit right in front of the screen, and they take a picture and they send it to her, and it's always a cat. The cats want to hear it. It's so fun. And so it is a vibration. It is a frequency, just like the cats use with purring. Let yourself purr. That's what we want to say. Anything to add to that, Judy? Because you do have a beautiful gift.
Yes, I do. I find that certainly being out in nature, it just flows. You open your mouth and out it comes. And it often takes me by surprise, but I don't know why I'm still surprised. But, you can just be going for a walk. There might be some trees around and boom, out it comes. Just allow yourself to let it flow out. Don't be embarrassed. I don't think that there's anything weird. Just let it happen and it will flow.
Lovely. Yes.
Okay.
I like that. All the light language is going on right now. Everybody's speaking it. Beautiful. All right. What's our next?
Next one is from Aussie Chris. Yay, another Aussie who would like to know what's in his energy fields for the next 3 months.
The next 3 months. Well, there is a demand on you right now, Chris. There's a demand on you to, again, we love the order of things, right? And here we're asking everyone to step into their light language. Chris, we want you to step into your role as the light facilitator that you are. There's always more and more that can come from you in this way. Rather, you connect with so many on the YouTube channels and you resonate with so many and coming through in these ways. But there is a time for you that you can play a bigger role. So we want you to think, what kind of role would you like to play? How would you like to, if you're not an extrovert and don't want to be on a TV or go live like we are doing here, then find a way that you would like to play a role in a bigger capacity than what you already do. And you already play a beautiful role, don't get us wrong. But it's time for you to start thinking more about what you want to do in a bigger arena of things. How will it serve you? What would you like to gain from it? What does this look like for you? Because you're in an expansion period and you can create anything you want. And people think very fondly of you, Chris, whether you know it or not. You are very liked, you are very loved, and you are this extraordinary and beautiful being on this planet. You are kind, you are extraordinary. And so embrace that with yourself. Know that you, again, we have this theme, know you are worthy, know that we see you and we value you and the presence that you bring into this planet. And we ask you, what do you want to create in the next 3 months? Because that is what we're going to help you manifest. And that is what we want to help all of you manifest. Yes. What do you want? And it is yours. Let's bring it to the table, but you have to get clear about it. What is it that would feel comfortable and right for you in a form of expansion from what you already do? And that's what we have for Chris.
Lovely. The next question is from Isla Allen, and she asks, can you help her get out of her own doubts in her abilities to earn income from being truly creative from her heart?
Here we go again, deserving, right? There is a lot of turquoise energy in the fields today in these answers. We keep seeing this turquoise energy. So everyone that feels like they could use more help in that arena of feeling worthy, of feeling deserving, and knowing your worth. Know your worth. Bring in the turquoise energy, bring it in. What we want to say here is so the breakdown of this question, if we are understanding it right, is this person would like to offer their gifts, their abilities in exchange for a financial flow of income. Is that correct?
Yes, and is having doubts about the ability to do so.
Well, we're seeing at least 3 different avenues of income that could, revenue streams that could be created. And as soon as you understand, oh, interesting. Can you give us the first name again?
Isla.
Isla. Ooh, chills even with that. There is a source of energy that you pull from that is unique to the services you provide. there is an element or a frequency that is created when you are in your creative energy, when you are offering services, whatever it might be, if it is a craft, if it is your Reiki services, if it is readings, if it is whatever it is, whatever you are facilitating, whether it be a physical object or an energy service, you are pulling from a very unique source of energy. It comes from, it doesn't come from Earth, but it feels like it comes from under you, like you're pulling it up through your body and then it comes out. And we would like to say this is an earth element. It's not, we're going to get very confusing. It's not earth, but it is another dimensional form of energy. And it is formed, there is white light around this formation that you pull the energy source from. Oh, I see what you're showing us. You come from another reality. You know this. You come from another world and you are here in this world, but you are still pulling from the source, the energy source of that other world. And so that's why we're not seeing it as earth. You are pulling this from another source, from another world. And again, it could be an alternate reality. You are able to move into the alternate reality, pull this energy in and put it into the work and services you do. So we want you to change up your attitude, right? We want you to get into this idea that you have so much magic that you put into these beautiful gifts, and it's not to be arrogant, it's not to be ego. This is a beautiful thing that you are bringing to offer into the human existence, and your jewelry, your manifestations of your creations, your energy offered out to people, it is very, very unique, and it is something that comes, maybe there's others on the planet that will do this, but I don't know who they are if they are. So this is very unique. And this is something that you need to offer to people, this unique alternate dimension energy source. If we could find a cool name for you, we would do it right now, but we want you to understand this is not for you to be boasting about, right? This is something you are offering. Like, I'm here, I love you, and I want to bring this to you. This is beautiful energy. And so why we keep saying don't boast, it's not something to be boasted about, is because we feel like you see yourself, if you step into the confidence of who you are and what you bring, there's this fear of going into arrogance about it, and you will not go there. So don't worry about that. You are not here to experience arrogance. You're not here to experience ego. You are here to experience sharing. You are here to experience expansion, and you are here to share these things with others. So that's what we have for her.
Oh, lovely. That was beautiful.
Now it goes into action, yes? Very cool.
Now the next question was about that number 369.
Mm-hmm.
Do you answer that? And that's from, I hope I'm saying it correctly, Maya Stanislawska. She keeps saying the 369 hears loud tones. She knows that someone's trying to communicate, but who, and doesn't know how to go about communicating.
So her connection to the 369, she has to understand that she is part of the creation. There's part of a creation here that in this earthly realm that she helped manifest and create. She was part of a team of workers that brought things to this planet. And that is why she's here right now. The tones and pitches are designed to her specifically for her to remember that her purpose here is a great one, that she is here to change frequencies. She's here to change some frequencies of some of the things that she helped create in this planetary system so that it will evolve with the earth. And so the pitches that she's hearing are just some residue of some of the waves, sound waves and frequencies that she's bringing in, the upgrades, codes, whatever you want to call them, into the planet that's helping to create a frequency and a vibration that is not just changing the earth frequency, but is also changing all living things. It is a frequency of all living things and all structures and the whole matrix of it. Yes. So she is one of the conduits that bring in this frequency, and they're placed throughout the world. She has more than one life she's living right now. She is a conduit in many different places all around the globe. in other incarnations, and facilitating like pressure points, right? Like pressure points. If you were to think about a human body getting pressure, the acupuncture needles all through the body. This is, every one of those needles is a incarnation that she has taken on so that she can be a conduit of this frequency, the 369 creation upgrades throughout the planet.
Fascinating. Okay, the next one is from Lisa A, and that's about ascension symptoms. Is everyone experiencing them, or just some people? Is everybody ascending, or again, just some?
Well, everyone is on their own individual ascension session, or ascension. Now she can't talk again, right? The ascension process is individual and collective at the same time, right? And so each person needs to be on their individual journey to their own personal ascension. It is not going to be a collective ascension until each person gets on board that they are working on their own ascension. Anytime you think you're helping someone else, guess what? What you see in that other person is the thing you need to work on. And so always bring it back to self, always bring it back into your own ascension. And then when you stop seeing things in others, then you know you've made it, right? You're like, wow, there's nothing to fix in any of the people I'm hanging out with, right? That means that you've made it into your self-love cocoon. And now you are creating the reality around you of all those that are also on that journey that have made it to that space. And so everyone is going and no one is going, right? Everyone is there, no one is there. Ask the first part of that question again. We know that we missed a part here.
The ascension symptoms, is everyone experiencing them?
Yes, and so there are a lot of symptoms going on right now as we get into all of these different things. Go back to the beginning of the video if you didn't already hear it, where Tracy and Judy are talking about the solar eclipse that's going on and is creating moodiness in people, or discomfort, or maybe however it's hitting you in your astrology, and it may be bringing out the best of you. There is so many things that are going on to acclimate the human mind, the human body, to these new energies, to these new waves, thought waves, so that everybody can be in this telepathic communication and receive this information and this evolution together. And again, you are doing it together, but you're each in a different place in your journey to it. Does that make sense? So Tracy and Judy are in this together, right? They're ascending together, but they're both in a different place in their path with that. And so, yes, it's all together, but it's also very individual and where they are and where you are in your journey. So yes, eventually it ebbs and flows, right? How would you describe that for you, Judy, with the ascension symptoms? Comes and goes, right?
Oh, absolutely, yes. You know, you can be feeling fine, and then there's some other energy that comes in, or something happens within yourself, and then you might experience those similar scenarios of lethargy, tiredness, feeling down, or whatever, just whilst you process that, and then you come good again, and so it just goes on and on and on. At each stage of where you're going to.
Yes, one of the symptoms also is that a little rapid fluttering heartbeat.
Yes.
We know that is a question somewhere in the sheet, and that somebody was experiencing the fluttery heartbeat, and should they go to see a physician on that? Of course, we want to tell you, always take care of yourself, and if you feel like this is not normal, it might be good for you to go get some clarity with that and go see the doctor. We cannot tell you, we cannot be the doctor for you, but the fluttering is one of the symptoms, of course, and appetite can be a symptom. Rather you have none, or you can't stop eating, right? And then some of the other symptoms that come through: the ringing in the ear, sometimes a headache coming in. There's Tracy's favorite one was when she felt like she was in the pressure cooker, like she was just constantly under this intense pressure, and she couldn't even explain it to people other than it felt like a pressure cooker. And so there's a lot of different symptoms out there, and if you are experiencing something, then maybe go to one of the websites that can help bring you some clarity as to what shift you're going through when you're experiencing that symptom, because there's a lot of good resources. Anything else?
No, just all I can say is just be kind to yourself when you are experiencing things like that, and just know that don't go into the fear mode that there's potentially something wrong unless you feel that there is something wrong. But overall, just be kind to yourself and do what your body says. If you're tired, sleep, and allow the process to happen, or the integration of the information to happen, and then you'll feel better.
Here's another thought with that too. You're not the only one going through that. So if you're recognizing that one of your loved ones or somebody you're close to is also experiencing that, honor them and give them the space to do the same thing, and work with each other, help each other through those moments, because yes, they can be a little intimidating at times, right? And they do kind of come in and disrupt life if you're feeling tired and lethargic all the time, and you've got to get up and go to work, and you can barely keep your eyes open because you're running through one of the symptoms and upgrades, and your body needs to sleep. Well, sometimes life doesn't understand that, does it? So just help your fellow companions out with that as well. If you notice them going through something similar, give them the support they need.
Excellent. And that question about heart palpitations was from Dragon Lady, so I had a little look through them. Now the next question is from Afsana, and I apologize if I haven't said that correctly, who wonders what your insight is on the widely written about or discussed event of a solar flash.
We think the solar flash that they are referring to is, they're talking about what, the big flash that all of a sudden it's like the apocalypse, right? Or this is the one where some will go and some will stay, and all the things. Again, you're going to get what you believe. And so if you have that version of ascension, and that's the one that resonates for you, then you'll go through that experience. When that will happen will depend on when you are ready for that to happen. Again, you need to become the vibrational match, and you're going through the changes to become that vibrational match. But we truly want you to understand that everyone here is creating their own reality around how does this work and which one resonates for you. It is not going to always be the same for everyone. And so what version of the ascension process do you like best? And pick that one and believe in that, because that's the one you're going to receive, right? Think about the death process. Those of you who do mediumship, have you experienced that people cross over differently? And what we say is you're going to get that transition the way that you believed you were going to get it. You're going to experience that in the beginning, because that's what you believed for, and you're still in the free will. You haven't crossed through the dimension yet, right? And so you leave the body, and you're going to have that experience that you believed you were going to have before you move into becoming part of Source again. It's going to take you through a process, the process you believed in. You're going to experience that with ascension as well. If you believe there's a solar flash, then there is a timeline where a solar flash exists, and you're going to experience that. And you're going to experience ascension the way that you believe it's going to happen. But what we want to say is everyone's going to experience the fifth dimensional reality, the new earth, when they become the vibrational resonance to it. And so work on that self. Don't worry about when's the flash coming or when's the big event. The big event is you. You are the big event. Get in the frequencies, get in resonance with it. And it's going to be right there for you right now if you can become the match to it. So find in yourself where you are still no longer, you're not the match yet. You're not the match yet. And ask, what else do I need to do? What else do I need to do to become the match? Explore, open the mind, bring in these other collectives to help you to discover, think bigger, think broader. put down these walls, put down these limitations, and break down those old constructs. And even the idea that you have to wait for the solar flash to arrive before you get to experience your blissful life is a construct that needs to be broken down. You can experience it now. Don't wait. Experience it now. Judy, what would you like to add to that?
I'm one that the solar flash is in the reality from what I have seen and what I have experienced. But yes, I do agree with you. Get into it now. Get into that feeling of joy, of connection, of harmony and love and compassion. And, you're well on your way.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Wonderful. And when you create that in your reality, when you are in that joy, when you are in that place, like you said, maybe you get there and you're waiting for that transition, which will come in the form of this flash or what is perceived as a solar flash to move you into the other dimension. But you are in a world of law of attraction. So when you are in this world where you've created this reality as Judy described it, now you are attracting into your life more people like that. And you will have these experiences. And the more joy you're in, the faster you manifest and create into these new spaces. So
absolutely.
all of it is relevant, isn't it?
Absolutely, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Now, I'm just going to check in with Tracy's energy at this point.
Mm-hmm. She is getting a little fadey. So yes, we'll do a couple more questions and then let's wrap that up.
Okay. So the next one is from Michelle, and she asks, can your soul job change midlife? She finds she's wondering now if what she's doing is for her highest and greatest good, having probably thought she was already on her path.
Well, Michelle, we know who you are and you cannot get off your path. You are perfectly in alignment, as everyone is. And yes, of course, you can have multiple things that you are doing in your physical reality in alignment with soul path, purpose, and things that you are doing. Isn't it wonderful that you are a multitasker? And so you can put on many hats in this world and find the things. If it's bringing you joy, you are right where you need to be. Because the biggest thing that you can do to shift this planet right now is experience your joy and happiness and love. And if that means that you're sitting in a dark room watching your favorite movie and it brings you the most joy in the world, then you're on your purpose, right? But that's what we want to say to everyone is, you are right on purpose if you are happy, if you like the direction you're going, or you're excited about the direction you're going. So when you get up in the morning and you think about going to work and you just have that pit in your stomach, it's time to start thinking about what else would you like to be doing, right? Because we need you to experience joy. We don't even want to say it like that. We don't need you to experience joy because you're all having an experience. We don't need you to do anything. We invite you to explore the ideas of what would it look like if I was living my best life? When am I the best version of myself? And start thinking, where am I the best version of myself? And experience that. How do I do that on a daily basis? How do I bring that into my life more? And start creating realities around that best version of yourself when you feel you're in the best place. So Michelle, you are in the best place as long as you are feeling those beautiful frequencies and vibrations of enjoying what you're doing. You are right where you need to be. And whatever it is that you are doing, it feels like it is kind, and it is not. If you are not in alignment, you're going to be causing chaos, right? You're going to be disruptive in your life or someone else's life, and we don't feel that. We feel that you are in alignment. You are in alignment. It feels like it's going smoothly, and it feels like the puzzle pieces are falling into place for you, Michelle. So follow that. Keep following that. You're fine. And it's okay to change. And there's many of the light workers that as they started to complete what they came here to do, then all of a sudden they were very lost. And there was a couple of years where we spent a lot of time working individually with each person, reassigning that first wave of volunteers, if you will, as they came in and they accomplished what they came to do. And now it feels like, what am I here for? What's the point? And they found their way to new assignments. And it feels kind of like that might be what you're experiencing, Michelle, is that you are wrapping one up and moving into something different, something extraordinary, and enjoy it. Anything else with that, Judy?
I can vouch for that.
Yes, Tracy can too. She was like, I hit that rut. I thought I was, what's the point? I feel like I've done what I came to do. And now look what she's doing. She's letting us talk all crazy through her, right? So you'll find something new that sparks you. Don't worry if you're hitting a rut. You're just being redirected.
Yep, it's quite fascinating, but boy, do you experience joy all over again when you find it.
Yes, you do. And you'd think you're never going to find that again, and then you do. And it's going to be wonderful. Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay, the next question is from Purvi and would like to know, what is the energy that is making her feel stuck, and what can she do to help it be coherent?
You cannot make up the order of these questions, right? Okay, so let's look at that. One thing we want to talk to you about is, again, we want to go back to being the empath, taking on the energy of the collective. There's some of that going on here. There's also, we want you, Purvi, to start taking some attention to yourself. You're always, what do you need? What do you want? Right? You are always putting the energy into others and being of service, You're highly intuitive, and being of service is a beautiful thing, but sometimes that can get overextended. It's like, we want to teach you the word no. I don't want to do that today. No, thank you. Nope. So allow yourself the boundaries of when you don't want to do something, don't do it, or make sure that you're never going to be mean about that, right? You're never going to be rude about that, but take time to check in with yourself to make sure that the things that you are committing yourself to are things you want to do. We're looking to see if there's anything any deeper with the feeling stuck. Read the question again about, she wants to know where she's feeling stuck, and then what was the rest of it?
What can she do to help it be coherent?
Okay, so they're showing us that there is a childhood event. They don't want to call it trauma. There was a childhood event, something that took place. We want to say you're about 6 or 7 in the vision we see. And there's something there that just needs to be corrected, or it needs to be dissolved. It's not serving you anymore. It could be something someone said to you. It could be something that you interpreted differently than what it was intended. But there's something there that needs to be cleared. And we ask for your counsel, your guides, and all those beautiful ones that watch over you to help you to release this. It is creating the wrong frequency from that which you desire, right? And you want to move forward. You want to be in coherence with this pathway that brings you joy. You want to be in alignment with it, but there's something there. And again, it's going to fall back into, I'm not worthy, I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not able to do that. That's for everyone else, it's not for me. There's something in there, there's a pattern in there that you repeat to yourself that keeps you from this adventure, this cool, amazing, and wonderful life that you want to be living. But there's this old record that keeps playing, and we think it stems back to that childhood. So do some exploring, look for where you were made to feel like you were different from everyone else. And oh boy, did we just speak to the whole audience, right? Where did you first feel like you were different from everyone else, and that you didn't deserve to have the same type of rewards or satisfaction that they got? Oh, satisfaction. Why did that give us chills? Reward and satisfaction. There's something there for you. You're going to clear it. They're there helping you. Your counsel's there helping you. You're going to get this, and it's going to feel so good when you get past it, because you are worthy, you are wonderful, you are magical, and you have so much to offer this world. So step forward in that beautiful, magical being that you are, and start being your true and authentic self with confidence, with kindness, with love. You are a beautiful being. So yes, that's what we have for her.
And also to give the younger version of herself that beautiful hug.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Why do we see you when they're hugging her, hugging that version of her with her? That's like this big three-way hug going on with Judy and the younger version and older version of Purdy. Nice. Yes. We'll get in there with our Arcturian hug. We got longer arms, we can get all of you in it.
Oh, I love that image.
Wonderful. All right.
One more?
Yes, we think there was one asking for a prayer. Is there one like that on there?
Yes, there is. That is from Amy A. Can you please say a prayer to help her release the tension off her shoulders that she's constantly carrying?
Oh, go back and listen to the beginning, right? And carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. But let's look at that. We're going to do this for the collective. So Amy, you sparred us into doing this for the collective in this time, for everyone listening, for all those on this planet. We call it in. We call in all the beautiful benevolent beings, known and unknown to all of you, all those who are here to be of help and of service and of guidance. May you find your way to them. May you find your connections to those beautiful beings who are here to help you, to ignite you, to share in the love and the beauty of this life with you. We thank you for relieving all of these beautiful souls from that which is not theirs to carry, all the burdens that have hit their shoulders, all the things that have been stressing on their minds and in their bodies lately. We thank you for releasing them of any of their ailments, any of their diseases, any of their aches and their pains. May all their organs be restored and their heart beat strong and the blood flow perfectly through the body. May their adrenals be ignited back into their perfect form, and may their beautiful bodies be restored in the most perfect ways. We ask that all the burdens that everyone has been experiencing, may you hand it over, surrender it now into the beautiful white light of source energy. Let it be repurposed into something magical so it can return back to you in the form of a blessing or an answered prayer. We thank you that you are showering each and every beautiful soul, those who are listening and those who are connected to those who are listening and those who are connected to them, and so on. May it reach every human being, every living source, every living thing in this planet, in the planet itself. May it find its way into the beautiful vibrations of joy and love and laughter. May everyone here experience something magical, some demonstration in their lives to show them they are going the right direction, to give them the confirmation they need to understand and gain their clarity. May everyone here be blessed in the most beautiful ways, and may they share those blessings with everyone they come in contact with. And so it is. And with that, we hope everyone feels uplifted and beautiful in this moment, yeah?
Absolutely. Thank you for that.
Well, at this point, we'd like to say thank you, and thank you to the collective that is here with us in this live version, and all those who will be listening later. We thank you, and with great gratitude for letting us be here with you today. And we'll bring you back, Tracy, as we exit this body, this form. We will be watching over you. Just kidding. We're not spying on you, maybe a little. But we thank you all for being here and for joining us in this beautiful, beautiful energy that is being created, so that all of you can expand and grow and keep getting more and more of that expansion that you've been looking for. So thank you so much. And here's Tracy.
You, Daniel. Thank you.
All right, guys. How was that? Was that good for you?
It sure was.
So, Purvy's in here saying one deep, huge hug. Yeah, let's all get in on it. That's lovely. I love it. Okay. There's a lot of you are commenting in here, so I just want to thank you for that. I'm going to kind of cruise through that. And oh, okay. So Juliet saying 369 has resonated with me for a long while now. So cool. Yeah, creation, making that happen. It was funny because in my mind, when you were asking that question about 369, I just kept seeing all these, you know, like when you're playing connect the dots or something like that, and all these points were being connected. And it's like she brings that connection, that energy in. It's pretty cool. You guys created some really cool energy with this transmission today. I liked it. It was some really cool, insightful things. So maybe all get through this transition of energy right now, uplifted, and we'll keep holding each other up. So very nice. All right. Any parting words? How do people reach you, Judy, if they would like to have a session? You do soul sessions, you do channeling sessions, is that correct? And then if you're local to Judy, you could even get a QHHT session. So tell them, did I catch everything? You
pretty much.
All right. So how do they reach?
mylifespurpose.com.au. That has all the information, all my services on there. And yeah, and from there you can bounce off onto other links, like going to Tracy's site, which is
tracymayhem.com. And I think we should have Judy do a little light language to sign us out. Don't you guys think she needs to do that? Wouldn't that be amazing?
I'm sure everybody notices that I have a problem being put on the spot.
You're like, oh, my reception.
That's all part of the fun of it. So, okay. Ikanama ushkini, ishikama usiama ukaka. Inyama ukanama usiama uchu, sisima ushuma.
I love that. I just had to close my eyes and be in it, just be in the sounds of it. There was some heart chakra stuff that was going on when you did that. So that was very nice. Thank you.
Oh, lovely. Beautiful.
Yeah. So what do you experience when you're speaking your light language? Can you share with everybody?
It just comes out, and then afterwards it's like, what do I understand by that? And sometimes I get a bit of an understanding, and sometimes it's a greeting from other beings, and sometimes I feel that I'm imparting some information. I don't necessarily feel anything in my body, so it does vary, and sometimes I will just bluntly ask them, well, what does that mean? And I'll get something that will help me to understand what it related to. So it's different every time, and very aware of different languages within the light language as well. I'm always, the one that stands out the most, of course, is the mantids, because of that clicky jerky one. So yeah, that's always interesting. It's like you have a bad stutter when you try to say something, and that stuttering goes in several directions, but that is very, very definite what that one is. Sometimes it's quite can be quite deep and guttural. Other times it's very light, so you know that it's more than likely it's Palladian or Arcturian. So I'm still well and truly trying to understand the differences between the languages and what it is that I'm actually doing. Just on the one about me giving information, sometimes those episodes of it just coming out like that, it goes on for quite a while. So I know that it is something that I'm informing somewhere else about.
Oh,
Yeah, that's quite interesting. But invariably, it's when I'm outside in nature, and very often when I'm taking my cat for his walk in the morning. So, and,
yeah, there's something to do with the cats. There's something there.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's so funny. Wow.
Yes, and there was always a particular spot in the garden where the cat and I would get to, and then it would just flow out. So that was interesting as well. So I dare say it was.
Ooh, you know what would be fun to do with that? I don't have any cool ones here, but I do have these little coat hanger ones.
Yes.
Get
Yes.
your browsers out and find out if there's like a vortex area there.
Yes,
They'll be
yes. Well,
like,
it's actually
they'll cross.
it's shifted because it doesn't happen in that spot anymore, which was quite interesting. So, but yeah, it is on my, it's in my cart to get those those rods. I saw some pop up the other day on Amazon, and I went, oh, okay,
Yeah.
this makes it easier.
I noticed with the Amazon, I ordered some and I like the ones that I got, but then I ordered some for a friend of mine and the handles slide off. So when you go to set them down, the handle falls off. And I know they did that so that the rod would move freely in there, but it's nice, like this is a coat hanger with a straw, right? But you curl it at the end. So if you guys wanted to make some, you just get a metal coat hanger. I did a whole class on this before where we made these. We had so much fun. So you got a pair of pliers, straws. That's all you need. And then you cut the hanger and you bend it into shape, and then you put the straw in there, and then, then you just
you hook it up at the bottom.
Them to your energy and you let them do their thing. So we made these, and here your energy is getting put into them because you're making them, right?
Yes, yes, I really like that idea.
Yeah, so then I went into another part of the office, and it was so fun because I looked around. So the door's closed, nobody can see what I'm doing. I went in and I looked around like, oh, nope. And I was going to put something and they had to go find it, right? So I was going to hide it in there, and their dowsing rods were going to lead them to it. So fun to watch, because the first person that goes out there with her dowsing rods, she's going to find the thing. Her dowsing rods would point to the first place, and she would look, and then she would walk, and then they'd point to the next place that I looked. And then finally it brought her to the one where I actually put it. She found it, but it took her to all the spots that I stopped that I was going to put it. So I thought that was really interesting. I was like, that's weird. You're stopping at all the places I considered putting I think it was a crystal, where I considered putting that crystal.
Wow.
So anyways, but yeah, then we'd close the door and go out and hide it again. The next person would go find it and use their dowsing rod. So it was so fun to play with them. But I thought that was one of the most fun classes I did, is arts and crafts, and then we put it to work. But it's funny because I did order a nice copper set from Amazon and I love them. But oftentimes these respond better to me because I made them. Yes. And so they respond better to me than the copper set does sometimes, but I enjoy playing with them. Everybody go make yourself some dowsing rods and go out. I go through the house and I ask, is there any vortexes in the house? And I'll walk through the house and they'll point, they'll lead you. They'll turn and you go that way, and then they'll turn you and you go that way. So ask them for things. They'll take you there. Yeah, go out in the park and say, where's the best spot for me to sit today? And it'll guide you to it. It's fun. So
thank you for that. That's wonderful. I'm sure everybody's going to be going out.
Everybody's getting hangers out and straws. Let's do it. That's right. Maybe one day we'll all get on here together and we'll just, everybody's got to get their pliers, their straws, and their hangers, and we'll make some of these and play. One day when we have time, right? So,
yep.
All right, you guys. Thank you for all the comments. We'll go back and look at those later. And I think that's it. Go check out the workshops that are coming up. Please go do that. If you're in the United States, or even if you're not and you want to fly to the United States, Truckee, we have 5 spots left for the Beyond Earth in Truckee, California, which is just outside of Lake Tahoe, just outside of Reno. If you kind of want to get your head in the map, 5 spots left for that. That's in May, and that's going to be, we're going to do Akashic Records. We're going to do light language. We're going to do channeling. We're going to do Skywatch. We're going to do a lot of things. So that's a fun one to come to. And I'll tell you what, $100 off. Just put in "the magic is real" as one word, all lowercase, and you'll get $100 off that. So there we go. Did my speech. I think we're good.
Bargain.
It's a bargain. That's right. Go do it. So, oh my goodness. You know, back in the day, that $100 off would have paid for your flight to Reno, because Reno is where you go to gamble. It's the little gambling.
Yep.
Yeah. So it used to be you could go $99 round trip to Reno. And I don't think you can find that anymore. But if you can, there you just paid for your flight, right? If we were back in the 1980s, that would have paid for your flight. Anyway, just saying, those who wanted to do the time, what was that, move through time? Those who want to move through time, maybe you can still get that flight. All right. Well, Judy, thank you so much. It's always hard to say goodbye to all of you guys, and especially you, Judy, because I don't know how to shut this off without closing out the Zoom. So this is where I say goodbye to Judy. So thank you so much for helping. Love you guys. And come visit both of us on our websites. Sign up for some sessions. Have some journeys. Have a good time.
It's
Awesome.
journey. Always exciting. Be the eternal traveler.
That's right. Travel those dimensions. We like to go too. All right, you guys. Have a good rest of your